Motorcycle Men. Time now for Rider Rides with your host, Ted Kettler. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to yet another installment of Rider Rides here on the Motorcycle Men podcast. I am Ted, your host, and Rider Rides is where you, the listener, have the opportunity to tell us all about your bike and why you ride it, why you got it, what makes it your bike. And it doesn't matter what you ride. It doesn't matter what brand or what style, where you ride or how often you ride. The important thing is that you do ride. And that bike you just heard is from today's rider, and joining me here in the corner booth at the V-Twin Cafe is Ivan Rodriguez, all the way from Middletown, New York. Ivan, welcome to the Motorcycle Men podcast.
It's a pleasure to be on, and long overdue, man. I listen to you guys all the time. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. Ivan has his own podcast. It's the Cycle Shack podcast, right, Ivan?
That is correct.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
Well, the Cycle Shack started out as the Cycle Shack magazine. I've been working with this thing for about 2 years. Actually, you guys, listening to you guys is what got me into podcasting. I've always been a radio fanatic, and long story short. So I fell in love with podcasts. It's a great way to pass the time on my drive into work. And I said, let me find something on motorcycles. The first podcast I found on motorcycles was Motorcycle Men.
I don't know if I should apologize. Should I be apologizing? I don't know.
So I've been listening since, episode 5? I caught up, and I've been listening ever since. So I've been inspired. It's hard doing a one-man show, but it's out there. It's picking up 2 years, so it is what it is, and I enjoy it. It's fun more than anything.
Great. Well, I'm glad you can make it here, and I will eventually have you back on the show at some point, and we're going to do a full-fledged interview, and I will grill you.
Definitely.
To the bone about everything.
Likewise.
So tell us what bike you owned.
I have a 2016 Harley Davidson Ultra Limited Low.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And what made you choose that bike?
I chose that bike, and to make it very brief, I chose that.
No, you don't have to make it brief.
I had an 08 Ultra Classic, the 105th anniversary one. Had some overhead trouble, didn't know it at the time.
Really?
Warranty expired. So I rode it into O'Toole's Harley Davidson up here in Wurtsboro. And since the warranty expired, when I found out the price, the Harley tax I was going to have to pay on it to get the repairs done.
Right.
I said, you know what? When I pulled in, I saw a bike that caught my eye. Can we look to getting me upgraded to that bike? They said, sure, no problem. Go test ride it. When I test rode it, I fell in love.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, that's something I've always avoided doing, is going into a dealer and say, let me take this bike for a test ride, because I'm afraid I will ride out with it.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us some details about it, like your tank size, seat height, weight, and things like that?
Well, the tank size is 6 gallons.
Nice.
Harley Touring, 6 gallons, and I'm appreciative of that, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
It's about 25 and a half inches tall. What makes it limited is that the seat height is lower. It gives about an inch because the seat is slightly arched lower to give you more heel on the ground. And the bike is significantly itself an inch lower to the ground. So that's the whole thing with the limited. It's lower to the ground. You got a better lean, and it just fits me better. The weight, I think, is just over 800 pounds, like your typical touring, 800, 850.
Okay.
And the color is actually...
And that's got the twin cam in it, doesn't it?
Yes, it's got the twin cam 103 high output.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got the 2 little fans on the end with the cooling system that cools the head, similar to the Milwaukee 8.
Oh, okay. Is that a 6-speed transmission on that?
Yes, it is.
How do you like the 6-speed?
I actually like it. I haven't had a use for 6th gear. I've never really used it. I normally cruise on 5th when I'm already at about 80, 85 miles an hour. That's my cruising speed. I throw the cruise control on and I barrel down the highway at about 80, 85. And when I have to pass any vehicles, I actually just downshift to 4th fly right by and back up to fifth cruising I go.
Really? See, I would think that you would throw it into sixth if you wanted to get that extra cruising power and just chill.
I think sixth is more of like an overdrive on the sixth.
I don't know. I've never had a bike that had 6 speeds in it. I really haven't, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, from what I read, it's more of an overdrive. I mean, it is an extra cruising gear, but I think you pick up a little more speed, but not. It doesn't have that kind of zip like you would want it to. You'd have to kind of drop down a gear just to get that little whip.
That little extra torque that you need to get past something. So now you bought that bike used, correct?
Yes, that is correct. That's
now,
what
when you bought it, how many miles did it have on it?
It had about 7,200 miles on it, roughly.
Okay, and how many miles does it have on it now?
10,400.
So you've been riding a little bit.
Little bit from the middle of last year to now, yeah. Rode a little bit the winter also.
Did you ride over the winter?
A little bit when there was no snow on the ground, yeah.
Yeah, because we know how the weather can be in upstate New York.
Yeah.
It can be a little disagreeable with everybody. So have you made any modifications to the bike?
The only modifications the bike has right now is that his RC components exhaust. It has a 4.5 inch, what they call a gauntlet exhaust. Looks like a Gatling gun.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Chrome. And I have my rear turn signals are the LED Kyriakins.
Oh, nice.
In between the saddlebag and the rear fender.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. Now, does that have that's got the infotainment system on it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does.
And have you made use of that?
I have. It's funny. It's tricky because Harley, it's a little confusing with their GPS. So I use my phone and Google Maps. I do have a phone holder on it. But it's just recently that I started getting used to the navigational system on it. Music, it works fine. Mm-hmm. Bluetooth with the phone, it works fine. It's just the navigational. I finally tweaked up the settings. I'm used to the conventional GPS, like the Magellan or the TomTom in your car. So it's working out so far.
So so there's a little bit of a learning curve with the GPS portion of that.
Oh yeah.
So now when you're cruising at 80, 85, like, not that you're breaking the law or anything like that.
No.
But how's the audio quality? Can you actually hear what you're playing?
Not really, especially with my helmet. I don't have a full face, but I have one of those Biltwell 3/4 helmets.
Sure.
With the big bubble shield.
Right.
So I mean, I can hear it if I put it up nice and loud. If I'm too up, then it's harder for me to hear because the rear speakers are being covered by my wife.
Right.
So but if she's not with me and she's on her own bike, I can hear it good, a little distorted because of the wind buffeting and all that, but for the most part, yeah, I can pretty much hear it.
And as far as it goes for your wife, she rides. What does she ride?
She actually has a Sporty.
Ah, I love Sportsters.
Yeah, I know. She has a 2017 Sportster Iron 883.
No kidding. The Iron 883 is a fun bike.
Yeah, it is. And I dare not to touch it because I got yelled at once.
Nah. Have you had the chance to try out the Iron 1200?
Not yet. No.
Oh, I had a chance to ride the 48 Special. Wow, that's really fun.
Really?
That's a great bike. Really, I love my Sportsters. Yeah.
I actually tried the new Road Glide. That's a nice bike.
The Road Glide?
Oh yeah, the Road Glide. I've always rode Street Glide fairing type bikes.
Yeah.
But the Road Glide with that shark nose fairing.
Oh yeah.
Those things are nice.
Damn it! It handles a lot differently than you would expect.
Oh yeah, it handles a lot better.
Yeah.
Especially doing 80, 85 miles an hour. You don't get that little shake.
No, you don't get that. It's really stable.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's the one thing you like most about the bike?
The one thing I do love about the bike is that I'm about 5'10", but I have long torso and short legs. Mm-hmm. So it fits me better than the other conventional Harley since it's a lower bike. And with the low, with the limited low, the primary cover is actually shaved down about an inch.
No kidding.
The average, than the conventional. That's what
did
makes
not know that.
Yeah. So you get a little more stability when you're on the floorboards as well.
So you said you're 5'10".
Yeah.
The seat height is 25 and change. What's your inseam?
I am 30, 31.
All right, so you do have a short inseam, but you're able to sit on that bike. Are you able to flat foot?
Yes, I'm able to sit on the bike.
That's great.
My heel and the balls of my feet down on the ground. comfortably. And again, I'm a heavy guy, so I'm not too surprised if it's also because I'm putting a little weight down on the suspension there.
You're allowed. It's okay.
Yeah. Why not?
So what type of riding do you do with it, and how does it perform?
It performs great. I like doing the conventional riding up here through the upstate twisties, through Hawks Nest and local rides. But me and a couple of friends normally do barrel down the expressway, and we go to like last year we went to Delmarva, Ocean City Bike Week.
No kidding.
Yeah. I've taken it there. That's my furthest ride that I've done on it so far. I like highway riding. We like going on long cruises, so the touring is perfect for me.
So it's nice and comfortable then, huh?
Oh, absolutely. The typical soap on wheels.
Now, do you have highway pegs on that?
No, I don't.
Oh, that sounds like an upgrade.
I always have bad experiences with highway pegs.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I love my highway pegs.
You know what? I'm going to try the actual regular fold down ones. The ones that I get are usually the ones that curve upward and turn. They fall apart on me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's just my legs weigh a lot or not, but I don't know.
Wow.
The only one I haven't tried are the regular standard Harley fold down.
That's the ones I have. These are the ones that I have are standard Harley Davidson ones, and when they fold up, I should say fold up. When they fold up, they actually point in towards you, and then when you push them down, they're just like they're flat out. And very comfortable. That's just and the thing is, if you don't have an engine guard on there, but now I assume you have the lowers on yours, correct?
Yes.
So I don't know where you would even attach those.
Well, you do have the engine guard and the lowers mounted to the engine guard.
Okay.
Still have that space where you can put in the little high pegs.
Well, it depends on also what the reach is. I don't know if it would be too far for a person who doesn't have the inseam like you do. I don't know.
Right.
You'd have to give it a shot. So the longest ride you've done is down to Delmarva. How many miles was that?
Well, on this bike, I want to say total 400 miles.
No kidding.
If that.
Nice. And it was the performance was great on that.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
How was your fuel mileage on that?
Not bad. I can ride about, I want to say for my weight, about 200 miles on a tank.
That's pretty good. I can't complain about that.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Jeez, and I know. Now, when you went down there, you took 13, I suppose? Or did you go Delmarva? That's the only way you can go. I guess you went down through Delaware and then down to Ocean City, and you went. Yeah, okay.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that's a nice little ride down that way. So, what color is the bike?
The bike it's called. Let me see if I get this right. Cosmic Blue Pearl.
Cosmic Blue Pearl. Do you ever wonder who comes up with these names?
Yeah, I know. It's one of the weird Harley colors. You notice that every Harley paint job is a unique paint job.
Yeah, there isn't you're absolutely right. There isn't just blue. Yeah. It's got to be.
It's that orange sunglow flame,
green fuchsia, maple, cherry. Something.
Yeah.
Very bizarre. I know. So tell us. Hold on a second. So tell us, why should somebody get this bike?
Well, definitely for I would say for the shorter rider. The bike is comfortable for the shorter rider. And you know what? Like I said, I had an 08 Electroglide, which this bike not far off. And for some reason, this bike feels, even though it's about the same weight, it feels lighter. It feels more manageable than the average touring bike.
No kidding.
Yeah, for some reason, my 08 felt a little heavier. It felt a little more sloppy on the road.
Well, was your 08, wasn't it a 103?
It was a 96.
Right.
It was a 96, and it was a different
heavier.
tire. It had the old Dunlop tires.
Okay, well, maybe it could have been any number of factors that made it feel that way.
Correct.
You don't know. So you have any plans of doing a iron butt with that?
I would like to. I'm actually trying to convince a couple of friends to just do some, I want to call it, it's called the Nowhere Run. I haven't done it yet. And what I mean by the Nowhere Run is pocket full of cash and credit cards, as much clothing as you can carry on a backpack, jump on the bike, take a tent with you, take a sleeping bag, take a week off from work, ride from sunrise to sunset, and wherever you wind up, you sleep on the side of the road. Rough it.
That sounds very appealing.
Yeah, man, and just find.
It really does. Now, how do you pick a direction though?
I personally would go west. I'd ride into PA and just keep going.
So that could end up putting you somewhere in Ohio.
In Ohio, yeah.
Is that where you want to be though?
You know what? I really don't care.
If you got a week off, Oh, so you say you take a week and you're going to go like 3 days out and then 3 days back. Right?
Dude, we'll start Sunday morning and start heading back Wednesday night.
Right. So you could end up somewhere, maybe, I don't know, you could end up out. Oh, you could cross the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, in 3 days of consistent driving, you could be in Utah.
Yep.
So
yep.
There you go.
And again, just camping, roadside camping, or find a mall parking lot that'll allow you to park in the back somewhere. And
Walmarts will let you do that.
Yeah. Why not? Go to a truck stop, shower up, and keep it moving.
Wow. You know what? It sounds really interesting. I might be interested in doing something like that.
Yeah. You'd have to eat diner food for about a week.
That's okay. I mean, diner food is great. Just no McDonald's. That's all.
No. I can't stand that stuff.
All right, Ivan, you have anything else you want to tell us about before we park this?
Not really, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I look forward to maybe doing something else in the future. And like
Absolutely.
I said, I'll be recording this audio myself for the Cycle Shack podcast. I hope you don't mind.
No, absolutely not. So everybody, when you get the chance, you go over and check out the Cycle Shack podcast and listen to Ivan tell us all kinds of motorcycle stuff.
Yeah, but the mantra is motorcycles and more. I can be rambling about politics maybe one day and throw in a motorcycle thing or two, but I don't know. Wherever the show takes me,
Perfect. All right, Ivan, I want to thank you very much for joining me here on Rider Rides on the Motorcycle Men podcast.
Thank you very much, Ted. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir, and ride safe when you're out there, all right?
You got it. You do the same. Keep that rubber side down.
Yes, sir. If you'd like to be featured on Rider Rides here on the Motorcycle Men podcast, here's what you do. Go over to the guest page on the Motorcycle Men website, which is www.motorcyclemen.us. Fill out the form there on that page and submit. When you are selected, and you will be selected, we will contact you and you'll have an interview with me. That's it. That's all you got to do. One more thing, kids, please visit Cycle Gear for all of your motorcycle and motorcycle clothing needs. With 136 stores nationwide, you're bound to find one near you, and they will definitely get you whatever it is that you might need. And if you go to the Edison, New Jersey store, be sure and tell them that the Motorcycle Men sent you, and they'll take care of you. Go over there and see Chainsaw Ginny or Sean. And Tobacco Motorwear. For the best in stylish and comfortable riding jeans, go to Tobacco Motorwear and get yourself a pair of Kevlar-lined riding jeans. These are fantastic. This is what I wear. This is great stuff. And while you're there, get yourself a Kevlar-lined California riding shirt as well. Great looking clothing, and they offer the protection you need while you're on your bike going for that long ride. And when you order, make sure you tell them that the Motorcycle Men sent you. And make sure that you use the coupon code MOTORCYCLEMEN when you're ordering. The Motorcycle Men still need riders to help them out on the Motorcycle Podcasters Challenge, which is coming up later this month. You can go to the Motorcycle Podcasters Challenge website to sign up and help us win this thing this year. That's it from Rider Rides. I am Ted. This is Motorcycle Men Podcast. Thanks for listening, kids. Ride safe.